Hey guys, down here at the Virginia Capitol grounds, right behind me. I'm at the actually Ninth and Grace, right in front of me. What in the world's going on with my camera? Hold on. Down here at the Ninth and Grace Street entrance, which my understanding is where they're going to have the metal detectors set up. Um, so here we are. We just came to do one last walk around today to see how things are looking down here. It's actually, I thought there'd be a lot more going on down here right now, but there's really not. So I'm gonna walk down. I'm heading south on Ninth Street. Just gonna walk down. Let you guys see me if you want. Hey, hey there, DL. What's up? I can't. A lot of times I can't read the comments. I have my reading glasses on right now though, so I can. But anyway, look over there. There's the Capitol grounds. Governor Blackface has it all fenced off. He's going to try to corral patriots, unarmed patriots. But you know what? There's going to be tens of thousands of us just outside of this area that'll be very well armed. I strongly suspect we're going to see quite a bit of horseplay down here along the lines of, Antifa types trying to start trouble. Although, the local Antifa guy, I guess, has said they support the Second Amendment. It's kind of hard to believe when, they're on George Soros's payroll. They may not know that, though. A lot of them are just young and stupid. So that might be the case. But anyway, just doing a walk around here. There's nothing big time I want to talk about. I've got my sidearm on. I have a concealed carry permit here in Virginia, but Virginia is also an open carry state, and that's the way it should stay. This is if you want to know the Capitol grounds, this is a bell tower, and a lot of times the Virginia Capitol Police try to limit demonstrations to this little area, which is really bogus because the legislative building and the executive mansion are up that way. So they really like to try to put you out of the way and say you can only demonstrate for 1 hour and you can't hold a sign up. That fascism at the Capitol Square needs to end once and for all. So I don't know why it seems like they have, and they're trying to corral everyone on the sidewalks here. They have all these up. I don't want to be corralled. I want to be able to cross the damn street when I want to. But of course, they're just trying to corral everyone and everything. And good luck making that work when there's 100,000 people down here. And I'm sorry, I'm not paying a whole lot of attention to the comments. Now, and my buddy's like, don't say anything. But let me just say, I know some law enforcement people down here in the area. And little birdie told me that somebody very important is going to be showing up here tomorrow. And let's see, I'll give you his initials. Here's the corner of Bank Street and Ninth, just to give you some bearings if you're coming here and you want to know the lay of the land. And this is another gate that I think will be. This is actually here. I'll zoom in on the sign for you that you can read about the executive order. And they will actually allow the Virginia Citizens Defense League did a press release today at 12:30 in the morning, and they will allow pocket knives going in 3 inches or less foldable blades, which is surprising to me because you can see here, this is absolutely ridiculous. No nunchucks, chains, flailing weapons, throwing stars, knives, darts or other throwing weapons, stun guns, tasers. You can't have sticks, poles, bats, baseballs, softball. See, I think the baseball thing is kind of a psyop thing. Like, we're going to take away the American pastime and not allow baseballs. What a joke. No softballs, no shields or helmets. You can't even have self-defense, things that are generally designed to protect you. A helmet, unless you're a professional headbutter, that's to protect your head, Absolutely silly. You can't have laser pointers. You can't even have toy guns and toy weapons down here. Not only did Governor Blackface take away your right to have real firearms, but he's taken away your right to have a toy gun down at the Virginia Capitol. Now I'm going down here. This is on Bank Street. This is the Commonwealth Hotel, in the little lobby. I think a lot of the legislators hang out in. A lot of them probably stay there. I want to see little Ralphie show his face tomorrow, because I'll bet he's scared. I'll bet he's not even on the damn grounds when things go down tomorrow. Or a lot of the gun-grabbing lefties probably won't be down here either, because they're just flat out scared. And they should be scared, because they're tyrants. And tyranny will not be allowed to prevail in Virginia ever in my lifetime. I will, over my dead body, literally. So we're getting down here. There's some media interviews. You know, they got truck blockade stuff here. They've had this here for a while, though. Could go up and maybe interview some police officers. There's a nice shot of the Capitol. It's a beautiful building, it really is. It's the oldest legislative body in North America. Since like over 4 centuries. My understanding is, you know, you got a helicopter up there. You're probably going to have, there's rumors that, you know, they're flying surveillance aircraft that can pick up on people's cell phone and, you know, ID people in that fashion. I'm sure that the police have the, what is it called, the Scorpion system everywhere around here, which fakes your cell phone into thinking it's a cell phone tower. And then it, you know, it can ID you. It can snatch information off of your phone, etc. Here you can see people. That's a pretty sad day when you see people getting screened and metal detected at the oldest legislative body in North America. You know, you can't even freely walk on these Capitol grounds with firearms without being searched, which is, it's just sad, because I've been on these grounds many times. It's a really nice place in Richmond, right in the middle of downtown. So yeah, let me zoom in a little for you, if I can, on live stream. There's a little tent up there where they're screening people. So again, this is all sad. Of course, they have a boatload of porta-johnies down here, and they've got these barrier things everywhere. These are pretty huge. They're like concrete. Let me back up a little bit. Giant balls. That's a size 12 foot, in case you're wondering how big those balls are. Anyway, I guess they're designed to stop trucks and that sort of thing. But this is kind of where the action's happening today. There's some news crews down here, etc. If there's anywhere, you know, I can't go in because I have a firearm and I'm not going in there. You know, I'm not going in there unarmed, simply out of principle. I'm not going to play their little reindeer games. And neither are 100,000 other Americans. There are going to be so many people here tomorrow, folks. I am willing to bet that Monday, tomorrow, lobby day, at 12 noon, there will be more firearms per square foot in this part of the world than ever before anywhere, perhaps. That could, and I'm open to other ideas as to who thinks which event might be more densely populated with folks who have firearms, but I think this is about the one. So I'm gonna go up here and try to ask these officers a question. I'm not gonna put their faces on live stream, but I do want to ask them a question or two. How you doing, gentlemen? Good. Good. I'm not going to put your all's faces on camera, but I'd like to know, as state police officers, how you feel about being deployed to forbid Virginians and other visitors to Virginia of their Second Amendment rights on the Capitol grounds. You guys feel good about that?
I feel good about people voicing their opinions.
That's a good thing, because I know one trooper, and he's a buddy of mine. I'm not going to say his name, of course, but I know he doesn't want to be down here, and he's got to be down here tomorrow. And I know another sheriff who was asked by the governor to supply some men, and he said, "I don't think so, buddy." Won't say the name of that sheriff or the county either, but I'm one that believes that the majority of law enforcement in Virginia does not support this. And I'm very hopeful anyway that that's the case. But I really think that is the case because I know a lot of law enforcement officers in this state.
Where you from?
Virginia.
What part?
Well, Richmond.
Richmond.
Yeah. I lived in Northern Virginia a long time, but went to school down here and moved back here a couple years ago. I love Richmond. So what would y'all do, for instance, because here's what I'm going to promote. I'm going to promote old folks, handicapped folks, and women who are armed to crash the gate. I think that would be a good strategy, a good peaceful civil disobedience strategy, because if I were a state police officer, would you lay your hands on an old person if 2,000 old people, women and old ladies, let's say they were all old ladies, came and they just started walking through? Do you think the state police are going to use force against them? Wouldn't that be a sad situation, though? But that's the position that this governor's putting you guys in, man. And it's rotten. I'd like to see the entire Virginia State Police Force resign en masse tonight at midnight. Wouldn't that be cool? Because you're not going to lose your job because they can't fire everybody, and they need the state police. Just some ideas. But I want y'all to know this, that if y'all as state police officers do the right thing and don't allow these tyrants, I'm not saying you should arrest them, even though you really probably should. Somebody should order you to arrest them. But if you guys don't support these tyrannical moves against Virginians and really America as a whole, because you understand that this is like a national hot button. This is the flashpoint right here, because people know that's why they're coming from all over. Sergeant, could I interview you? I'm not going to put you on film. Hey, I want you guys to know that when y'all do the right thing, the people of Virginia will support you. And we know you want to do the right thing, because I know most of you guys are good guys. Have a good one. Anyway, Sergeant came and wouldn't let his guys talk to me anymore, but I can tell you what, they don't want to be here. They don't want to be enforcing anti-constitutional, and it's not a law, it's a garbage emergency order, which, as a matter of fact, for those of you who don't know, Governor Northam was a senator in that that legislative body up there, and he voted for a bill that specifically said you cannot ban firearms, specifically firearms for protected in emergency situations. And they did that in light of the Katrina gun confiscations. That's why the legislature in Virginia got together and said, oh no, even in an emergency, we're not going to ban your firearms, because they realized then, when it was controlled by more level-headed people, that's the time you need your firearm the most, in a disaster type of situation or emergency type of situation. Well, what Northam has done to bastardize that law, because the exception to that was you couldn't have firearms in emergency shelters, okay? So what Northam has done from a legal standpoint, which I don't understand how in God's name it's held up in the circuit court and the Supreme Court of Virginia, he has claimed that the Capitol grounds now, I guess the Capitol grounds in their entirety, are functioning as an emergency shelter for state employees, for whoever, the state legislature, even though state employees generally have the day off tomorrow because it's Martin Luther King Day here in Virginia. So it's like, he's totally breaking the law. They know they are. It's not even a remotely legitimate loophole. It's a total abuse of the law. It's totally breaking the law is what it is. So Northam doesn't have a legal leg to stand on. I think that this thing is the VCDL and the Gun Owners of America, which are two fine Second Amendment groups. The VCDL has really been the grassroots push. I mean, it is their lobby day. They've been doing it for 2003. They are continuing their lawsuit. I think this should have gone to the U.S. Supreme Court. I think they should be hearing it today. And I don't know whether they are or not. I don't think they are. I haven't heard any rumblings of that. But I think they ought to be hearing this case today, because this is obviously of national importance. And I'm disappointed in the Virginia Supreme Court. I don't understand what in God's name these people are thinking. If you look at the law and you take into account this governor's lawless actions, I don't understand how those courts for a second are coming to those conclusions and making those decisions and allowing this to move forward. But it's just pitiful to see. Look at all the fencing they have, how they're going to herd they've had all these peaceful lobby days for years here, for almost a couple decades, but yet now they're going to corral and herd people and disarm them. It looks like a gulag, you know? This looks like some gulag shit you'd see in the old Soviet Union. That's what Ralph Northam has brought to Virginia. Anyhow, there's obviously a lot of interest in this. Even this is just the day before. They're saying that people would be down here in line early tomorrow morning, like after midnight. I plan on getting down here. I don't know what time. I have to discuss that with my team members, which I have a lot of great team members coming in from different places. D.C., Mississippi, North Carolina. Yeah, I'm going to have a house full of Patriots tonight. That's going to be a lot of fun. We got a big pot of chili, good organic vegetarian chili on the crock pot that I whipped up this morning. It's absolutely delicious. Look at this little character. Isn't he a cute guy? What's up, buddy? Are you for or against the 2A? He's for it. He's for it. I saw it in his eyes. He winked at me, and that meant he gave me 2 winks. So that was like, yes, I'm pro 2A. Anyhow, so that's what's going on down here, guys. I'm going to be heading back to my house soon, and I'm getting an early night's sleep tonight, hanging out with my fellow Patriots. We'll have a bonfire going. I encourage you all to do the same, and keep us in your thoughts and prayers, and meditate for a positive outcome, which I know is going to happen. I know we're going to win here. And this is not just going to be a battle tomorrow. It's going to be an ongoing battle against wannabe tyrants who want to come in, and they first want to snatch all of our God-given birthright of self-defense from Virginians. And the globalists, make no mistake, the globalist George Soros, Bloomberg, he's a globalist piece of shit. They all know that if they can succeed here in Virginia in taking our firearms, that they can pretty much succeed anywhere. And, I was speaking with some folks at the VCDL and saying, hey, this is definitely a national issue. And she was like, she corrected me and said, it's really a global issue. She said, we're getting people calling from all over the world who are interested, in lobby day and want to help out and want to support it one way or another, or want to come to it, because they know that the United States is the bastion of freedom in the world. It's certainly not perfect, and we've got corruption in government that needs to be done away with. But our Constitution and, the American people and our liberties, and the fact that we are allowed to exercise our rights to defend ourselves and our families and our loved ones, and most importantly, that we're able to keep and maintain firearms so that if it's ever needed, that we can depose tyranny and we can remove a tyrannical government from power. And that is why the other things, hunting, self-defense, honestly, they're ancillary benefits. Yes, it is self-evident that self-defense is self-evident as a right you are born with. But truly why the framers put the Second Amendment was so that if a government became tyrannical, the people could dislodge it and form a new government. And we can do that still based on what we already have in place. It's just removing criminals, and unfortunately, there's some criminals serving on these Capitol grounds right now that do need to be removed one way or another. They need to be voted out. I think some of them need to be recalled. I think some of them actually need to be arrested. I think the governor now needs to be arrested, assuming he follows through with this order to disarm, Virginians and Americans going onto the Capitol grounds. Well, he's doing it now, so he needs to be arrested now because he's using his power as the chief executive in Virginia to issue an emergency declaration that it has no legal basis in law, and it's like, you can't do that. That's illegal. You're a criminal. You're a criminal, Governor Blackface. So anyway, but that's why I wish these state troopers would just turn around and go arrest him and say, you know what? You are violating people's most basic fundamental rights, and we're not going to take it. And they have a sworn oath to the Constitution, uphold the Constitution, and they're sitting out here searching people. That's what I don't get. I don't know how they reconcile that with themselves at night when they go to bed, It's like, I know it would suck, but you just have to resign. At some point, you have to hand in your gun and badge and go, I'm not going to be a part of that. I'm not going to be a part of this tyranny, You got to have the courage to do that. And like I told those troopers earlier, if all 900 of you resigned, what are they going to do? They're going to stop it. They're not going to go through with it. And you're all going to keep your jobs because they're not going to fire all of you. They can't do that. So anyway, it is a beautiful day here. It's supposed to be really cold tomorrow if you're coming. I think it's going to be a high of 39. So dress appropriately. And there's a lot of shady places down here because of the buildings. So it's definitely going to be chilly pop cool unless you're up there, which I won't be because I'm not surrendering my firearm, which I'm definitely coming with. And, let's try to all stay level-headed. When you see some funny stuff from provocateurs or agitators, be sure to point it out. Be sure to take video of it. Gather any information you can and try to, go to the closest law enforcement officer and tell them what you saw, show them the evidence, and snuff those things out quickly because there will, without a question, be agitators here who their objective is to make good law-abiding supporters of the Second Amendment look bad. There's probably multiple groups actually engaging in that. There's reports that they're, hiring crisis actors somewhere out west in Stanton area or something like that a few days ago, and they went through some training yesterday. Antifa will apparently be making a showing here. So, we'll see. They say they're pro-Second Amendment, and let's see that, who knows? There's going to be a little bit of everything here. There'll probably be some white supremacists, some Nazis, who knows? But you know what? That's free speech. That's what happens when you live in a free society. You got to deal with some things that you might not find to be pleasant. You might take offense at Nazis like I do. I don't really care for Nazis. I don't really care for white supremacists. But you know what? I'll support them till the sun goes down, or not I'll support them till the end of the earth. In their right to speak out, in their right to carry signs, in their right to wear a uniform with memorable insignia on it, whatever they want to do. Because some people are claiming that this is a trap in that members of the militia who show up with insignia will be able to be charged under domestic terrorist charges under the NDAA and under the Patriot Act, neither of which are constitutional law in my opinion. At least portions of the NDAA and portions of the Patriot Act. There's nothing patriotic about the Patriot Act. It's very unpatriotic, actually. So there's rumors that they'll use that to try to levy domestic terrorist charges, and that if, for instance, one person did one thing, then you could be clumped in and charged with whatever crime they're guilty of, and that sort of thing. So I certainly fully expect all kinds of chicanery from the globalists. Who basically have control of the leftist part of the political spectrum in the U.S. now. Probably mostly unwittingly to those leftists. They don't realize that the globalists are using them the way in which they are. But either way, I know they're not going to win. So really, this is a battle here that really is relevant, I think, for all of humanity. It really is. And we're going to stand tall. I've got a great group of friends. I'm going to be with, I'm going to have a 70-year-old doctor with me. I'm going to have his 70-year-old buddy. I'm going to have one of my great Marine friends who always covers my six whenever we do something like this. I'm going to have my buddy Steve Zarpus, and I'll say his name because I know he doesn't mind. And he'll be down here, and he always does demonstrations with me. I've got a young lady friend of mine who called me up. She's like 21 years old, and she was like, "Are you going? Can I go with you? Because I feel safe around you." I'm like, "Sure you can." And anyway, so there are just people coming from all across the country. There's busloads coming from all over Virginia. I will not be at all surprised to see 100,000 people out here tomorrow, guys. 100,000 people easy are coming out here. So anyway, if you're making the trip, I hope you have a safe trip. Drive safely. There's something else I was originally saying before I was aware of this information, that maybe people should park down in the west part of West Broad, west of the city, west of downtown, and then maybe take a city bus down. But apparently you can go to the Arthur Ashe Center or also the Diamond. You can look for the ballpark, which is a diamond. It's a baseball diamond where the AAA Richmond Braves used to play. Now it's like the Richmond Squirrels, some AA team, I think. and you're gonna be able to park there at the Arthur Ashe Center off of 95. I think it's either way. You're gonna want to take the Boulevard exit, and really it'll be right there, the Arthur Ashe Center, and probably it'll flow over into the Diamond. There's a lot of parking there, and it's not that far from downtown. And the VCDL is having a shuttle bus. I think that's going to come every 30 minutes. I actually hope they have more than that, because that's not going to be able to handle the number of people that are going to be coming down here. So, don't think that you're going to be able to come down here and park anywhere near this event, okay? I already know where I'm going to park, and I'll be huffing it about a mile in. I'm just going to walk in. Be a good way to clear your mind before the event. Have a nice little walk through Richmond. Anyway, make sure you bring plenty of water with you. Pack your lunch. It's probably going to be real hard to get food. There's going to be so many people here. It's probably going to be real hard to go to the potty. So try to take care of all that. Clear yourself out for the day if you can. And, we'll win this thing, guys. I mean, I know we're going to win it. Tyranny does not stand a chance against us. Americans and Virginians are rising to the occasion. When tyranny has finally, come to Richmond, Virginia. It's a place I didn't think I'd see it come so soon. But this is what happens when, moderate and level-headed people don't get out and vote. And for any Democratic gun owner that voted for this bullshit in this Capitol, I hope you really have some deep regrets. And you know what? If anybody's firearm should be taken, yours should be taken from you for voting these tyrants into office, knowing they're gun grabbers, knowing the agenda they have, knowing the governor we have up there in that mansion, and knowing the first thing they're just so eager to do. I mean, did you hear about the legislation one guy introduced where it would only affect the NRA range up in Fairfax, which is actually where I took a lot of training. It would only affect the NRA range, but he was trying to outlaw indoor ranges that were in like office buildings or something, because at the NRA headquarters they have a fantastic range down in like the lowest level down near the parking garage and stuff. It's a great range. I've taken many classes there, and there's a lot of good people there, a lot of good instructors. And as much as sometimes I don't like the NRA, that part of the NRA I love. And so that's how vindictive. That's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with vindictive. Really, it's more about their political agenda than it is about making anyone safe or making Virginia or respecting people's rights or anything like that. They're now just vindictive. They're like, ooh, we haven't been in power in this Commonwealth for 26 years, but now we are. So now we're going to stick it to you, gun people. That's really what it seems to be when I hear about a legislator actually introducing such an absurd law like that. I mean, really, you deserve to be recalled when you're specifically targeting the NRA like that. You deserve to be recalled. That's a gross abuse of power to do that. So anyways, guys, Virginians, this is our next election in about 2 years. You got to get out and vote. I did. I voted in that election. Did all I could. My representative is McKeechin. What a pathetic POS. Encourages the governor to use the National Guard against peaceful gun owners here in America. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna check out for a second, and I'll come back though. I want to tell somebody something, and I don't want to put it on video. See ya. I'll check back.